Welcome to Weird News. Our guest is Rick Taylor. How are you doing, sir? Thank you for joining us.
I'm well. Thank you for having me.
All right. Well, tell us a little bit about yourself. You're from the Seattle area. How long have you been in the comedy game?
I've been in the comedy game almost a decade.
All right.
As a stand-up. I've been in the running comedy shows and comedy rooms for about 8.5 years in that role. I'm actually originally from Portland, right down the road, but I moved up to the Puget Sound area about almost 20 years ago. So I am kind of from here now. And I recently moved to suburban Tacoma. So
all right.
Living in the burbs.
Now,
yeah, that's great.
do you still have a business on Capitol Hill?
We do Club Comedy Seattle up on Capitol Hill. We opened in January, and we're chugging right along, building Seattle's newest boutique-style comedy room.
Nice. So explain a little to me and the audience what a boutique comedy room would be. How is that different from like the Parlor Live that just closed down in Bellevue?
Right, Parlor, huge room, 300 plus seats in that room over there, and that's more of what I would call, because I'm an old guy, an 80s style comedy room. You know, in the 80s is when we had a huge comedy boom, and they started building, improvs that were like 300, 400. We have 500 seats, and that's not really how comedy works these days. Even if you do go into a club that has a lot of seats, they generally can't sell them all. And so what you end up a weekend where you have a room, you have 400 seats in the room, and you're only filling 70 or 80 of them, which makes it seem way less intimate for the performers and way less intimate for the crowd. So in our room, we have 80 seats. And so it is a small boutique-style comedy stage where it's very intimate and not meant to serve more than 80 people at a time. So we like to think of it as a little more personal comedy experience.
Very cool. Very cool. All right. Well, that's great. Definitely at the end, we'll try and get some plugs in there if you've got anything interesting. And, you're on social media a lot, so we'll be able to meet you there too. So thanks again for joining us. We'll get into our first here, which is going to be Ignorant Jenner.
Wait, first, I have a question.
Yeah.
I have a question because I just want to ask Rick. Rick, do you know what you're getting into tonight?
I have no idea.
How much did I tell you?
You didn't tell me anything, but I'm not worried. Somebody, my husband asked me yesterday, he's like, what are you doing tomorrow night? I'm like, I don't really know. And he just looked me right in the eye and he says, well, I guess your years of being on the radio pay off. You're pretty good at ad-libbing. I was like,
oh, yeah.
I hope so. So, yeah, I'm not afraid, but I have no idea.
Okay. No, honest answer. And what you just said was years of radio experience and good at ad-libbing. You will be fine. Welcome to Weird News.
Exactly. You'll fit right in. Mona Lisa Moves is the first one. A little technical difficulties.
Moves or moves?
Moves. I mean, she could have mooed. We do not know that for certain, John. Depends on how you think of the Mona Lisa, I suppose. What in the funk? Okay.
They're not cussing on live TV today?
Oh, John, we'll get there, my friend. Apparently. Since things are going great so far.
Right.
Boom,
Damn it. Oh, she moved.
Yeah, so apparently, I mean, they're just somehow capturing different angles, and I thought it was interesting because what it is, I don't care about the video, but they also have these pictures they took of...
So they're taking pictures of prints of paintings at different angles?
Yeah. So it's basically like they're trying to make ghosts out of pictures, I don't know. Mm-hmm. It's kind of weird. I mean, I brought this up because, oh, wow, if they can do this just goes hand in hand with, like, making videos of me and you doing illegal things so they can arrest us. That's this rabbit hole, Rick Taylor.
That's where you went? That's
yeah, bro. Yeah. I was like, damn, this just shows you, man. They get one picture of us and think about how many angles they have with us being, on the internet all the time. It's just, man, they can have us doing anything. Yeah. It's...
So can you scroll up to the top so I can see what the top of it says?
Scientists in Moscow trained an AI on facial movements from 3 humans. Then they applied those movements to the original Mona Lisa.
Gotcha.
I mean, not that they couldn't have doctored video before this, but I mean, it's just a photo, right? So
that's true, right?
Yeah, they're using someone else's facial recognition that had similar points on their face, I would say, than or as Mona Lisa, the Mona Lisa, and then they just
That explanation doesn't make me less paranoid about it.
Right.
well that and I see the deep fakes video. They also had that slowed down Nancy Pelosi video that tried to make her sound like she was like I don't know, suffering from Bell's palsy or something.
Whereas Biden, you don't have to change anything. He just sounds like that sometimes.
Creepy Uncle Joe.
Bad Botox on Uncle Joe. That's probably what
All right, so that was just creepy. We'll get into more AI later, John. This is going to be a recurring theme of this episode. Next, though, is, as I hinted to before, ignorant Jenner.
What's that second word you're saying?
Ignorant Jenner, as in Kylie, my friend. I know we don't bring up this sort of thing very often, but this is particularly interesting. You're not a big Kylie Jenner fan, I know.
No, you're saying Jenner. It sounds like Ginner. I was getting confused.
Oh, I just need to pronunciate.
It's not. No, it's me being in the Midwest. I'm particular. I don't hear right.
It's you, not me. Okay, I'll go with that, John. That's fine. All right, so she recently made headlines.
I didn't know any Jenner was ignorant. Can we get a quick show of hands for anyone in this room who's seen that movie?
It's actually not a movie. It's actually a book that was made into a TV series by Hulu.
Oh, well,
so it's an actual TV series. I've only seen a few episodes of it, but I mean, what it centers around is a society, much like our society, that lets itself fall into a kind of conservatism where women don't have any rights. I mean, literally don't have any rights. And so, I mean, on one hand, I can see somebody making that as an argument like, oh, what is she, she's ignorant. She doesn't know what it's about. But actually, I mean, I've seen people throw Handmaid's Tale like style parties as kind of a protest against what goes on.
You know so what I mean? Do we know Kylie's thought process behind the throwing of the party and why she used that theme? Was it the right way?
I mean, from the comments and the little they've said, no, she doesn't really mention it being like tongue in cheek or like anti-authoritarian, like we're gonna take back the look or whatever. I mean, just nothing like that. Right. I don't know.
I mean, and don't get me wrong, I would be the last one to ever defend Kylie Jenner, but I mean,
that's why I brought it up because I really didn't know. I was like, am I being tone deaf? It doesn't seem.
That's what I mean, though. It's good perspective, Rick, because I'm not familiar. I wasn't even familiar with the show, the premise of the show, or the symbolism behind it.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a lot. I mean, I think there's a lot there but also another thing I just like want to put out there is it's fiction, so relax.
All right. Know what I mean? Well, let's see. Next,
how'd we do on that story, Sean?
Great, John. Keep at it, just like that, and we're gonna be just fine. All right, next we've got Zab First Troll. For all of you who don't know, Zab Judah is a ex-heavyweight championship boxer. It's just them walking into the store, and then it's gonna start here.
Oh, no, pull off the victim. So listen, we just want to address the comment that you left about Zab.
You recognize us?
I know you all are. So basically,
you know about this is the pull-up,
you talking about Zab is overrated and you'll beat his ass.
I mean, right now, he's kind of washed, bro, to be honest with you.
Really?
Yeah.
No,
but what about you beating him, though? You stand on that?
You serious? Listen, we didn't come along today.
Listen, you can't be running your mouth and don't expect Akamarock not to pull up on you, bro.
Hey, yo, what's up? I'm looking for Noel.
Yeah, this him right here, Zab.
What's up, bro? I seen the comment that you said something about me that I was overrated.
You got 5 minutes on your hands?
I was just playing, bro. Nah, I need you outside, bro.
I was just playing.
What's up? 5 minutes. Let me get that.
Bro,
I need 5 minutes outside.
Just talking, bro.
We're gonna figure this out today.
We're gonna figure this out today. That's a line I am forever adopting.
I love how he's like all hard. Yeah, I meant it. And then the minute they go, well, he's here. Oh, I was just playing.
He instantly looks at whoever he works with, like, are you for real? And then one of the comments is, he's touching that, what is it? I'm going to go to it. Where is it? There it is. He's holding onto the counter like it's on base. Okay.
That's hilarious, man.
But isn't another side of that? How much time does this celebrity have on their hands if they show up at your business over a comment?
Have you ever seen Jay and Silent Bob, where at the end, like those two kind of go after all the bloggers that were disparaging them? Yeah, that's what they're doing.
Well, I mean, obviously, you're right. This is a publicity stunt. These two guys kind of act like maybe they do this before. They go out and reach out to celebrities, and they're like, "Hey, do you want to confront this?" And this one particularly was good because it's people talking shit about boxing. I'm really into fighting, and so you get this all the time. We're like, he's a has-been, and and even I could whoop his ass. You like, and then there are people stupid enough to like kind of tweet that out there, and like even like, you know, tag the people they're talking about, and it's like, it's just disrespectful, man. I'm just not.
I mean, I just think where he went wrong was, and I'll beat his ass. Like, I mean, I think it's okay to say, oh, hey, man, you're a washed-up piece of crap.
Right.
You know, you're welcome to have that opinion about somebody, but you're right. Where you go wrong is, and I'll beat your ass. It's like,
yeah.
Okay, well, I'm here now.
We're gonna find out today.
Yeah.
Who is Zab Judah?
So Zab Judah is a boxer.
Okay.
Like an MMA style boxer?
No, just regular old boxing. I'll show you. There he is, right there.
I'm sure that's what they call it in the organization. Regular
old throwing hands.
He did look way older in the video than he does right here.
He is. He's probably he's probably 50s now, but I mean, he probably still looks a lot like that. I mean, you could see he wasn't heavy or anything. Those guys stay in shape, so
I don't know, man. I think that guy should have gone out there and tried to back his words up.
Oh yeah, that'd have been fun. See, he fought.
Yeah, every time I walk into somebody's job where they have a waist measuring tape around their neck, I think, that guy's probably a great fighter.
This guy, yeah,
I wouldn't take a swing at him.
Oh man,
No, man, he might insult me on Twitter.
That's true.
Right.
You're gonna start some beef.
All right.
All right. Next is Python Hunter, which is not only just my aunt's nickname when she goes out on Friday nights.
I was gonna say, I'm pretty sure I've seen a gay porn with that.
Yeah, definitely. All right. So meet the Burmese python hunters of the Florida swamps. So this shit's getting so out of hand. There's people that just specifically do this, hunting pythons all day.
When's the TV show coming? When's A&E gonna pick up that TV show?
Dude, well, since we've started the show,
Snake
there's
Week.
been multiple snakes out of toilet stories. It's just they're all over the place so much that I just don't even include them.
Do you like snakes, or do you guys hate snakes?
Ugh. I do not like snakes.
No.
Don't want to see your snake. Don't want to touch your snake. Don't want to hear how fucking great your snake is. Keep your goddamn snake away from me.
So you're not a fan of the cool guys around Capitol Hill that with the
Ugh.
snakes? No? Okay.
Just say it. I'm not a fan of the junkies around Capitol Hill.
So you're talking about the actual animals.
Yeah, no,
Yes.
the animal.
I'm no doctor, but... All right, this one's interesting. Hold your gag reflexes, people. Girls just want to have fun, you know? But this is a whole nother
Sure
thing.
they do.
Don't vacuum out your period blood. You'll just end
Oh,
up in
come
the ER, girls. Come on.
Come on.
I mean,
come on.
I'm sorry we can't all relate here in the room, but I can relate in saying that that probably doesn't work. I'm not going to try and be doing that. But apparently this is a real thing. Tweeted out by this nurse who
Please
said,
stop
ladies...
using your vacuum
go for it."
hose. Oh,
Yeah.
to end your period early, you're gonna wind up sucking out a lot more than blood.
Mhm.
These were 2 cases of this so far this week, and both women had admitted just stop. Oh, had to be admitted.
Like, what
Yeah, yeah.
are you doing?
Yeah.
I've never heard of this.
I don't wanna
From
hear
an actual vacuum cleaner? Question mark. This is some crazy shit.
Sounds bad.
I don't
man.
know if it was Eureka, Dyson, Hoover, or some Walmart brand, but yes, an actual vacuum.
You know, I
God,
say any publicity is good publicity. Eureka needs to just go for it. Say, yeah, it was ours. God damn it.
We have the best period vacuum cleaner known to man.
Next year, Hoover will have a warning about that in all their manuals.
Oh my
Yep,
God.
yep.
they
Legal
will.
department will make them.
They're yeah, they're all rebranding as we know it.
That's the
It's going to
saying.
be
If it's on the label, someone did it.
It's the new Dyson with wings.
now. It's only a matter of time until there are some lawsuits
Yes.
saying we didn't know your vacuums were that powerful. People are crazy these
Yeah, it's
days.
wacky. So there we go. Boom. Weird
Wow.
news.
Weird news.
Young scent. It's just gonna get weirder. This is okay. Here we go. Just more and more weird. Leave it to Japanese. Japanese company isolates young woman aroma and turns it into a popular deodorant. Yeah. So apparently, the company Roto Pharmaceutical announced it's isolated 2 fragrant chemical compounds, lactone C10 and C11, which younger women's bodies seem to produce in much larger quantities than those of older women. So, spray it on old chicks, desperate dudes, incels, jelkers of all ages are going to love this. They're going to put it on their pillows and they're going to be happy at night. Maybe less schools could get shot up because of this, John. What do you think?
I feel very uncomfortable saying I have no problem with this. I'm totally outing myself as like some kind of incel pervy.
No. Well, using it and being okay with it are 2 different things. I'm okay with it. Not sure it would be my thing, but
This
I'm
is
okay with it.
interesting. Yeah, I have no idea if that's even true. If that
Right?
if those are the unique smells to younger women. But people can use science. People can use science.
Yeah, for me, call me when it can fix the incel's personality.
Good luck with that, dude. We learned all about them last week.
Yeah, I think that's really where they're, fixing the symptoms and not the cause. You know what I mean? Like, oh.
Yes, exactly. Everything is everyone else's fault with those people.
It mentions in here that they kind of meant it to be one thing and then realized it was popular amongst single men. I mean, but it was originally crafted for older women.
So why is it? That's what I was thinking. Like that's the target market I would be thinking of. Why is it popular among older women?
Okay.
So why is it popular among single men?
Single men that are incels, jelking all day, but can't get girls. That was the whole joke, John. Yeah, right. I mean, I guess that's what I was thinking. Is
I missed that part. Is that really in the article?
Yes. Yeah. It says it launched in 2018, quickly became a hit. But although Roto originally aimed at deco line at women in their 30s and older looking to regain the scent of their youth, which is creepy, it turns out that there was another demographic they missed: lonely Japanese men.
Being snatched up by single men because the sweet aroma, described as a fruity combination of peach and coconut, makes them feel like there is a young woman in close proximity.
Yeah. So they're popping boners all day, John.
All right, now I'm disturbed.
You're still on board.
See, at first right? I'm like, okay. Right. I'm like, next. Poor Rick is like, what the?
Hey, man.
I'm just like, ugh.
This is a little more chill. This is a stab at you, John. Ode to Ohio. Now, I didn't. Yes. Yeah, here we go. This is a little.
If you rip on me, Sean, I'm leaving.
No, John. This is not me. This is not my doing. I would not.
I'm going to find this author, and I'm going to chase
there you go.
Down.
You got to take it out on this guy. You got to take it out on this candle company. Indiana company sparks outrage with unscented Ohio candle.
Like I give a shit about anything that Indiana has to say about Ohio.
Oh, I knew you'd instantly
these guys have Mike Pence to hold up.
That's fair. That was a good first jab, John. That was good.
I can think of way worse things than unscented.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it was kind of description is not much to see, not much to do. How accurate?
Ass, Indiana. Horses ass, Indiana. Cleveland.com reports Ohio State Tourism Agency Director Lydia Mihalik took burnt umbrage at the description. Oh, I bet she did.
Yeah, I bet she did indeed. That's her job.
I bet Lydia's going after him.
Lydia's pissed.
Dude, Indiana sucks. If you've ever driven from Cleveland to Chicago, you know the desolate wasteland that is northern Indiana. There's nothing there. And then when you finally almost get to Chicago, you have to drive through Gary, Indiana. Which blows. You can see it. You can see the smog. You can see how crappy it is. It is the most worthless state in the Midwest. So take that, Indiana. Not low.
Chernobyl's being talked about a lot because it's an HBO show that's on right now.
Okay.
And because of that, in discussions that I've had about Chernobyl, 3 Mile Island gets brought up. And in me looking up 3 Mile Island, I learned about Church Rock, which for some reason either slipped my mind or, I just had never heard about it. So I just thought, why not? It's not really funny. It's not really weird. But it's a story I brought up. So fuck it. It's my show. That's kind of what I thought. So make it funny.
I don't know how we can make a uranium mill spill funny. But
I can actually recall this. I was alive in 1979. I know that
I was 4.
That's scary. I was 10, almost 11, when this happened, and I visited New Mexico that summer.
What? All right.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm the youngest of my siblings, and my sister, who's 12 years older than me, her husband was stationed at Kirtland Air Force Base in Albuquerque, and I went and visited there that summer. And this happened the day before I left to go there.
Well, see, I knew all this, and that's why actually I had
right?
this story. So.
And so we were
you still able to get there, or
yeah, oh yeah, it wasn't a problem. I mean, this is far. I mean, Gallup is far. This is far from Albuquerque. I mean, New Mexico. If you haven't been, New Mexico is kind of a place like Indiana, where it's like, I'm from a small town in New Mexico. Oh, they're all small. Come on.
Yeah.
It's not. I mean, even Albuquerque isn't a huge like city, so this is a pretty. Where they're talking about is a pretty rural area. Not that that makes how they handled it acceptable, but it wasn't a non-story.
Okay.
Just
Yeah,
wasn't.
so it's something it doesn't get talked about as much.
Yeah, it wasn't talked about in the way that 3 Mile Island was talked about, or the way. I mean, you have to look at the. I mean, the thing about Chernobyl and 3 Mile Island is both of those things happened in places where there was a fairly close, fairly decent-sized population. So that makes a huge difference.
True. Well, with this one particularly, I guess the remnants of this washed down into the Navajo region. And, of course, we don't give a fuck about those people, so they never really did anything about that. So that's kind of one of the ideas here. Yeah. Anyways, good times. All right. I like the vibe.
Woo! Way to keep it upbeat.
So Blackout by Balloons is next. This one is just stupid people being stupid. Mylar balloons are, well, very thin metal. So when you do that, you cause blackouts.
Way to go, dumbass. Look at her.
Where's the car?
The whole town.
Oh my God, can you believe the electricity went out?
Did I do that? That was it. I just thought it was super
fun.
stupid.
I love that. That was awesome.
That was hilarious.
All right, now we're going dark again. Creepers visit Columbine. So that's a problem, apparently. Creepers
That is a problem. Sounds
visiting
like a problem.
Columbine that have like weird, I don't know, infatuations with it for whatever reason. Possibly incels. I'm not saying anything, but they come and they visit it all the time. So they're thinking about in Columbine about tearing it down. I say fuck it, tear it down. Should have already been torn down. Or you start some sort of watch list. Start watching these people. And thank you for whoever just dropped the ice cream on D-Live.
It's weird hearing a yummy when we're talking about Columbine stalkers.
Yeah, true. Bad form, Jim Carrey. How dare you? Yummy. Anyways, for sure.
So what are they doing? What are they doing? They're just kind of showing
they're-
up on campus?
No, well, okay. This is just throughout the years, people show up and just, school shooters refer to and study the Columbine shooting as a macabre source of inspiration and motivation, said the district superintendent. So they're thinking about just getting rid of it. And Jeffco Department and School Safety make contacts with hundreds of individuals seeking to enter the school and reconnect with the 1999 murders, the letter said. Most of them are there to satisfy curiosity or the macabre but harmless interest in the school. For a small group of others, there is potential intent to do harm.
Okay.
Well, the ones who are just there for the macabre, we should just make it a museum and charge them to go there and use that money to build a new high school.
Yeah, I'm into the macabre. It's too soon. Too fucking soon.
Isn't it always going to be too soon for something like that?
No,
20
because
years is not too soon to me. We have school shootings that that maybe it might bring more light to the violent nature of our society.
Okay, I see what you're saying. Because 9/11, how long was the 9/11? I mean, before the 9/11 memorial was up.
It was 2 years after, so that was 18 years ago.
Okay. Damn, I mean, you're right. I think I'm on
18
your
years
side
ago
now.
in September.
Maybe you could.
Don't you
I
think
don't
that's
know.
half our problem is how slow we are to react to shit? Like, we're so slow to get anything done or to do anything. Everyone's always like, oh, this takes too long, or oh, this take too much work, or oh, this will take too da. Well,
Yeah.
here we are, kicking the can down the road on everything for the last 20 to 50 years.
Don't want to upset anyone, but you can't, please everyone. You got to please yourself, John. That's what I always say. That's an original line. All right. Next, explosion. This is just a nice, simple explosion. Someone driving down the road, and they caught this.
What the? Oh!
That's a big one.
Shit.
I was wondering if I'd pull over, but I think I probably pulled. That was he felt that heat probably coming off of that bad boy.
I'm sure.
Anyways, that was it. So that's
Man, when your barbecue turns into an IED.
no kidding. That guy hit with a banana going 500 miles an hour. All right, so here we go. Russia's take on Chernobyl is a little different than the story.
I'm sure everything's
What a
fine.
shock.
What are you talking about?
What a shock.
No, not everything's fine. The CIA did it.
Of course they did.
Russia makes own version of Chernobyl disaster series, blaming CIA agent for nuclear explosion following success of Sky original mini-series. This is just classic Russia as far as I'm concerned. They're like, oh yeah, we do counter. So, this is their counter.
Yeah, right. You have your story. We'll have the one that we're going to tell our country.
So yeah, the
So
new
it's
adaptation will
CIA, man.
portray nuclear disaster as the work of the U.S. CIA agent. Let's see.
Because, hey, man, radiation floating around the planet in big clouds. Good for everybody in every country.
Let's get some FOIA requests. I'm sure we can get to the bottom of this and
It's
help
all about
Russ out.
spin over there in Russia. As long as he can say to his people, hey, look, I know everyone's into this Chernobyl thing on HBO or wherever, but this is what really happened. That's all he's doing. He's just spinning it for himself and whoever else will believe it. But it's classic. It figures.
Yeah, the problem is that in 2 weeks, President Trump will be like, well, yeah, it was the CIA.
That's true.
Yes, he's probably retweeting that right now, actually.
All they have to do is say it once on Fox News. It's a fact.
Innocent Microsoft. Right.
Yes, those two words are synonymous.
They have facial recognition. You know that, John?
What?
Yeah.
Where?
So, well,
What's up, Harvat?
Microsoft deletes their massive face recognition database that was released in 2016 at images of 100,000 well-known people. The database was believed to have been used to train a system operated by police forces and the military.
I bet they deleted it because it got hacked.
Well, it's funny
And they
you
don't
mention
wanna-
that.
They don't want to report it.
I just want to meet the reporter that thinks there's 100,000 well-known people. That seems like a lot.
That does seem like a lot.
Which brings me naturally into this one. Police departments across the U.S. are using video doorbells from Amazon-owned Ring to create an unofficial surveillance network, a new report says.
I believe that.
It's interesting because we have a Ring security system at our house, and we are, when you have that, you're on the system and the neighbors share with you and stuff. And not on that app, but on another app called Nextdoor, there was a report about a drug dealer. Like, they live in this area and they walk down to this area and they meet the cars and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, oh man, I can't imagine the police aren't part of those kind of apps, and aren't part of the Ring community and stuff like that at all for just reports just like that.
Right.
I mean, don't get me wrong. next door is full of paranoid people who are like, this woman walked by my mailbox, you know, and but have you seen her? Oh my God, danger. But I mean, it's also full of actual, like, real tips about things that go on in the neighborhood. And I can't imagine that local law enforcement, there isn't somebody there paying attention to that kind
like
of
that's surveilling it.
Well, most departments have, you know, somebody who keeps their eye on social media.
Mm-hmm.
So I can't imagine that they're not watching stuff like that.
That's true.
I wonder if the drug dealer is smart enough to be on there.
So it looks like they can't get things unless the police can't get things unless they have a subpoena. Which I don't know how hard those are to get. I would bet not that hard.
Probably not much. Yeah. I mean,
I don't know. I think you open yourself up. For surveillance. Not that most people have anything to hide, but I think you open yourself up for surveillance when you use stuff like that, and you have to be careful, especially when it's billed as like social media influenced or social media allowed.
Somebody was saying that to me when we put in the ring system, and I just told them what I tell everybody, man. Ain't nobody hiding from me, and I ain't hiding from nobody. So we're not that worried about it, you know.
Yeah, and I think that's the majority of people. But I think that once you do that, like, I don't know, I think it does make it easier for invasions of privacy.
Oh yeah, man. I mean, if you could hack into my system, you could see what's going on in my front yard and my driveway, all around my house, actually.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. They're gonna.
I don't know how exciting that would be.
Yeah. Well, you know,
Not very. I'm telling you from experience, not very. Sometimes I'm at my day job. I'm like, what's going on at home? And it's like,
nothing. Right.
Vegetation in the front yard's blowing around in the breeze. Mom. Just like fucking yesterday.
Yeah.
God. Yeah, it's not that exciting.
All right, so here's another one. This one didn't get on the countdown, but I thought it was weird.
Ooh.
This is a bubble vortex. I've never seen this shit before. But look at this guy go for a ride. Somehow the water's in a ring like that? That's pretty trip.
Whoa.
Right?
That
And
poor
that
little
guy-
jellyfish.
I don't know why I'm late here. I was on my way home. I got caught in a bubble vortex.
Oh, this one. Okay. This was a little dark,
Wait a minute.
but I'm going to go to it anyways because it reminds me of Pulp Fiction, you know? I just shot Marvin in the face, you know, and then you got to take the car into Quentin Tarantino. That's basically what this happened. This is one of the guys who helped dispose the body of a 16-year-old they killed in a drug deal. He's 49 Luis Rivera Sr. But basically, he killed this kid, put him in the trunk, and then went and got the bullet hole in the back fixed, in the back window, okay?
Okay.
Then went and got the interior fixed, which tells me those motherfuckers at the window place fixed the window, a bullet hole in the back window of a car covered in blood, and didn't say anything.
Right.
Okay.
Wow.
Wow, you could. That just goes to prove, man, you can get anything fixed. I mean,
No shit.
I don't mean that in a good way, but I just mean you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People need
And
money.
no one
They need
asked
the business.
what-
They're like, sure, we'll fucking do it, dude. No question.
I mean, it probably costs more than calling the local auto glass place, but yeah.
Yeah. Said Winter Garden Police said the Infiniti had a bullet hole in the rear window, so Rivera first took the car to the body shop to get that replaced. The worker told police Hagen's bloody body was still in the car. Then Rivera and his relative moved Hogan's body to another car. Then, according to the court records, the Infiniti was taken to a car detail center to clean up the blood and replace the headrest, which also had a bullet hole in it.
Jesus.
Wow.
Right? Holy shit. This could
I've always been suspicious of the guy that details my car, but now I'm going to take a deeper
You
look.
got a special eye
Yeah.
on him now.
Okay. What's really going on over here, bud?
That's what brought to you by vodka.
He's gonna keep hitting me now.
Great. This is great.
Maybe the guy who's trying to stop him from shutting clothes.
Oh, wait, so is this guy purposely doing this? No way. Is this person trying to break the window with something? Whoa, he almost just got hit, bro. This guy's in nothing but like a Longcloth over here in the bottom. What is going on? What is he pointing at? The camera? This goes on for four more minutes. Hold on. We gotta.
God, right?
Where's the guy in the wheelchair, man?
That's a different video.
Oh. I thought we
That's, you're like, when's this fucking wheelchair come in?
When's this wheelchair guy gonna say?
How is there 3 more
Он
minutes?
побил все тачки.
Probably.
Down at the end. This fucking drunk
Это
fuck.
просто капец. Он сносит там
That's what
асфальт,
he's saying right now.
машины.
You fucking...
There he is. Run, buddy, run.
He's got something in his hand too. The guy's like, no, I don't want to hit you with this, dude.
That's gotta hurt.
That can't feel good.
On a fence.
His like legs caught on the fence. Yeah. Oh boy.
Блин.
Oh, he's. Oh my gosh. He's ground and pounding him. The drunk. Am I right? The guy in the car is on top beating the other guy up right now. Where are the other 4 people? They're like, I ain't fucking. Fuck that.
Hello, 911. There's 2 guys in the garden below. I can't tell if they're fucking or beating the shit out.
What's Russia's 911?
I think the guy that's winning the fight is the guy that was in the car.
That's what I'm saying. I
Wasn't
think
the
so.
naked guy the one that was trying to stop him?
Yep.
Yeah, I think that guy's all like, see what you made me do? I wouldn't have crashed into that car so many times.
Okay, this guy just strolls along. Hey guys, so can you keep it down? Oh, finally someone that cares.
I heard a stop. The voice of reason is always female.